Hi everyone, this is Carolyn Speaks, the state of our world on Thursday, April 15th, 2021. So what is it? Good, bad, or indifferent? All three, I'm afraid. The coronavirus is still with us, reigning supreme. People are still refusing to wear masks and only socialize with those in their immediate household. And uh, practice social distancing and only go out when they need to. Very unfortunate. And people in other countries are behaving in the same way, like in Brazil and the Philippines, because they have bad leaders. We had a bad leader, Trump, who ignored the virus, said it was like the flu. It's no big deal. Don't need to wear a mask or practice social distancing, didn't make sure people had personal protective equipment, didn't do anything on the vaccine front. Now we have a good president, Biden, Vice President Harris, and they are doing a good job. However, the United States reigns supreme as the country with the highest highest number of fatalities for this virus, and it's very unfortunate. Our death toll for the coronavirus in the U.S. has passed 564,000. The Johnson and Johnson vaccine has been put on hold because blood clots have developed, and some people have received the virus. And yesterday, we have more than we have more than 75,000 new coronavirus cases on Wednesday, which was yesterday, and nearly 1,000 fatalities from the coronavirus. Hospitalizations continue to rise in many states, led by Michigan, and 124 U.S. residents, 124 million U.S. residents are at least partially vaccinated. Centers for Disease Control delayed its decision on whether to resume use of the Johnson and Johnson vaccine. So we have to wait on that decision. That is the vaccine that I would like to get when it's available where I live. So we'll have to see what is happening here because it's not a good situation. 564,000 fatalities is very high, and it's a real shame that it has gotten this high. Okay, now there are other things happening. Now, former world leaders and Nobel winners who've received a Nobel Prize call on Biden to waive the patent rules for coronavirus vaccines. 175 former heads of state and Nobel laureates are calling on President Biden to back a waiver on World Trade Organization intellectual property rules for coronavirus 19 vaccines during the pandemic. 9 out of 10 people in most poor countries likely will not receive a vaccine this year, according to the open letter. But an intellectual property waiver would expand global manufacturing capacity unhindered by industry monopolies that are driving the dire supply shortages blocking vaccine access. Signatories include former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former British Prime Minister Gordon Brown, and economist Joseph Stiglitz. Separately, a coalition of 250 organizations, including Amnesty International, Public Citizen, and Doctors Without Borders, issued a similar plea to the head of the World Trade Organization. The fate of the international efforts could be decided on May 5th at their next major meeting of the WTO members. So hopefully they will, and Biden will agree to waive intellectual property rules so we can all be safe. So hopefully that will happen. We have to keep pushing Biden in this direction. Now, in Washington, D.C., there's a statehood bill that has advanced to full vote despite GOP opposition. The House Oversight Committee has advanced a bill that would make Washington, D.C. the 51st state, the Washington, D.C. Admission Act passed out of committee on a party line vote over unanimous Republican opposition. The full House is set to vote on the bill next week. The District of Columbia has one of the highest per capita populations of African Americans of any major U.S. city and is home to over 700,000 people, more than the states of Wyoming and Vermont. Yet residents have no representation in the Senate and send only a single non-voting delegate to the House of Representatives. So I support making Washington, D.C. the 51st state. That would be nice. I totally approve of that. Okay. Now, Washington State has barred for-profit prisons and immigration jails, and that means that private companies cannot run prisons that house Americans and people who are in detention for immigration laws. Anyway, so the Washington State legislation has been signed, and that means one of the largest privately run immigration jails, the GEO Group's Northwest Detention Center in Tacoma, must shut down by 2025. I wish I could shut down right now. Asylum seekers at the nearly 1,600-bed jail have repeatedly gone on hunger strike to protest squalid and dangerous conditions, including several outbreaks of the coronavirus. So that's good that this bill has passed. Under the bill, companies that contract with local, state, and federal agencies like Immigration and Customs Enforcement will be barred from renewing their existing contracts. And so hopefully that will bear some fruit, and these companies will not be able to be profiting from people's misery. That's a very good step. I approve. Now, in general, President Biden has decided to end the forever war in Afghanistan. He said troops will be coming home from there by September 11th, which is the anniversary of the September 11, 2001 attacks on the U.S. by Al-Qaeda. And so that is a good thing. The defense budget needs to be cut as well, and we need to put that money into things that people need, like housing and health care and food and education. With respect to the coronavirus vaccine, the current Dr. Monica Gandhi say you still need to wear a mask even once you've had the vaccine, all the doses you need, because not everyone is vaccinated. So as to keep you and others safe, you have to wear that mask, and it's very important. You can't rely on others to abide by the rules, and you definitely need to wear that mask. Right now, the Johnson & Johnson virus vaccine for the virus is on hold because of blood clots that have developed in several women who took the vaccine. So we are not, have to stay safe and wear that mask, practice social distancing, only go out when you have to, and on and on and on. So the rules stay in place. Can't drop the rules. You have to stay safe. And then we have idiots in our government who are complaining about having to wear a mask. God, would you rather wear a mask or be dead? I don't know. So anyway, that's the latest. So I'd like to sing a little song now. I had enough news. I'd like to sing a song called Michael. It's an old song, old folk song. Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Sister helped to trim the sails, Hallelujah. Sister, help to trim the sails. Hallelujah. Jordan River is chilly and cold. Hallelujah. Chills the body, but not the soul. Hallelujah. The river is deep and the river is wide. Hallelujah. Milk and honey on the other side. Hallelujah. Okay, that is Michael, an old folk song. Thank you for tuning in this evening of April 15th, Thursday, 2021. Hope you'll be back with us again tomorrow evening for another meeting of Carolyn Speaks, The State of Our World. Remember to stay safe, practice social distancing, only go out when you have to, and only socialize with those in your immediate household. Remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you. Good night. Stay safe.